What's up, everyone? It's your host, Ghost, coming to you live with another wonderful video. I am very sorry. I literally just woke up like 20 minutes ago or something like that. I didn't hear my alarm for whatever reason. So, yeah, I don't even know what happened. I have no idea why I didn't hear my alarm. But yeah, that's what happened. I just woke up. So obviously we're starting the show fairly late, like an hour late, but it is what it is. But we'll, why not? Why don't we just keep going? How was everyone today? All right, so we're going to talk about the Michigan election. It's been interesting things going on in that front. The Biden. Actually, I need to edit that. Whatever. So the Bidens are to be subpoenaed. So we'll look at that. Representative Comer's gonna apparently says he's going to subpoena them. An Orlando prosecutor has been sacked. We'll go and see out why. Oh, suspended. Whatever, sacked, suspended, same thing. So we'll look into that, see what's going on with that. And then Fauci has been referred to the Justice Department for criminal investigations for lying under oath to Congress, allegedly. So we'll look at that. And then Massachusetts is asking their residents to house unvetted illegal aliens, immigrants, however you want to refer to it. So let's watch that press conference. And then I got two videos I'm going to react. One is from Fresh and Fit, and the other is from the Whatever podcast. So I'll react to both those videos. All right, so let's get to it. Before I do, just make sure and give the video a like. Make sure to follow me. And follow me on X at official W Ghost. So when you'll know when I go live, and I'll send the links. And sometimes, hopefully, sometimes I'll actually wake up, come down and do this fucking shit. But yeah, and then if you, again, I am affiliate of Coffee Brand Coffee. I'll do my little promo halfway through, like normal. But if you're already a Coffee Brand Coffee person, use the coupon code GHOST, and you'll get 10 or 5% off. All right, let's get to it. Oh, and follow me on Rumble with Ghost, as well as YouTube, and Gaming with Ghost on Rumble, as well as Kick. Okay. So, saw this the other day. Former Trump official Andrew Kloster confirms bombshell 2020 election fraud report out of Muskegon, Michigan. Redacted police report claims that Muskegon, Michigan city clerk Anna Mesh encountered a woman dropping off 8,000 to 10,000 completed voter registration applications. As detailed by Gateway Pundit, the registrations include the same handwriting, non-existent addresses, and incorrect phone numbers. An investigation found that the woman worked for GBI Strategies, as noted by @Kentco the Great, Dark Money, Super PAC, Black PAC, paid GBI Strategies $11,254,919 to register voters for Joe Biden. Police then searched the office of GBI, where they found semi-automatic guns, silencer/suppressors. burner phones, a bag of prepaid cash cards, and incomplete registrations in an office space that was styled as an eyeglass store that has gone defunct. No arrests were made. While speaking with Steve Bannon, Cloister recalls the events and claiming that there were standing orders not to deal with election matters. There were standing orders not to deal with election matters, both from the White House counsel and from Barr. I happen to know Barr's chief of staff, Will Livey, because I had worked at Heritage and ran into him at lunch, basically for senator staffers. I called him up and tried to put the flag up into the voting rights sections, CRD, DOJ, and White House counsel, in a couple of different places and got stiff armed. Then later on, I hear from Johnny and others that basically then the White House counsel swoops in and screams, "What the hell are you guys doing?" So that's really nuts and bolts of it. So there's this guy. It's a 13-minute video. I'm just going to see if I can. All right, so I pulled up an article. There's only one thing really showing this. I don't know. I'm not gonna watch 13-minute video clip, whatever, of his interview. I googled it, and there's only one thing that really pops up. They're calling it a hoax. I don't know. The portion. Police report does mention the 8,000 to 10,000 voter registrations. Doesn't show anything about this whole like guns and all that stuff. It kind of sounds outlandish. Like the voter registration, all right, cool, but like all this stuff with like the guns and the suppressors, burn their phones, a bag of prepaid cash cards, and all that stuff. It seems a little. It seems a little out there for, voter fraud or anything like that. It seems like a little bit of an over, something going over, if you know what I'm saying. Like it's an over, not even a reaction, but like, why would you need all that stuff just to, put some voter fraud going on, especially in a state that is heavily Democrat, and obviously when check this shit out. I don't know. But this is what I guess this guy, Andrew Cloister, is saying. I don't know. Maybe more reports will come out about this, and we'll learn the truth. It's I mean, I believe that I believe more of the 8,000, 10,000 completed voter registration applications. this whole guns, suppressors, burner phones, and all that stuff. That seems a little far fetched to me. And I pulled up like some like lead story fact check thing or whatever, and it said that it said that sorry, I exited out of it. It said that that none of the applications ever got registration forms or registered and got like absentee ballots or any of that stuff. So I mean, if that's the case, then it doesn't really matter. If it's not the case, and 8,000, 10,000 voter forms and whatnot, and absentee ballots and all that stuff went out, then that's a problem. But we, need some proof. In all honesty, it's like all this would be very simple to solve. Voter ID. You got to voter ID, and you need to vote in person unless under extreme circumstances, like you're in the hospital and you can literally not make it, or something to that effect. If you can't vote in person, you can't vote. This whole mail ballot and all that stuff, it's obviously easy to be used up. And you can't blame Republicans for this. They controlled the House and the Senate for a good amount of time, and they didn't do shit. I mean, they could have easily handled voter rich stuff. They could have passed a law requiring voter ID. There's nothing illegal, there's nothing unconstitutional about requiring proof that people are who they say they are, and people are citizens of the United States, and everything like that. Like, there's nothing illegal about that. There's nothing unconstitutional about that. Oh yeah. Today's my wedding anniversary. But yeah, there's nothing illegal about that. There's nothing wrong about that. And it's really funny. Hold on, just texting my wife. It's there's nothing wrong or illegal. There's nothing unconstitutional. I mean, you require an ID to purchase firearms, so why can't you require an ID to vote? I mean, all other countries do this. They require a voter ID to vote. And in a lot of places it's free, and in some places it's very cheap. And if you can't afford to buy a voter ID to vote, do you really need to vote? But anyways, anytime I hear arguments against voter ID, they're just really, really racist. Like have you ever? Sorry, I got something in my eye. But have you ever heard of these people that don't want to voter IDs? They always sound like way racist. Black. And generally it's against black people. They're like, oh, black people aren't capable of buying an ID. They don't understand how to. They're too poor to afford it. There's not a lot of DMVs, etc., etc., etc. Say, what kind of bullshit is that? They're too. Black people are very intelligent. It wouldn't be hard to figure out how to buy an ID to vote. I don't understand. But again, I blame Republicans. It's really their fault. Like I said, they controlled the House and the Senate for I think 3 or 4 years while Trump was in office. They didn't do fuck all with it. They didn't worry about it. So maybe next time if they gain control of the House and the Senate, they'll pass a voter ID. I doubt it. But yeah, we should have voter ID. All right, let's get on to that. Okay, another one from this Collins rug. And I'll if more of the story comes up, I'll check it out, obviously. But it's just caught my eye, which is why I talked about it today. But reading into it, it's like, maybe. Like I said, I believe that 8,000, 10,000 voter registration drop off. I believe that. The guns, suppressors, burn phones, and all that stuff. It's a little far fetched for me. But of course, I could be wrong, and that could have been 100% true. I have no idea. All right. Representative Comer, I keep saying Coomer for some reason. Comer announces he will be subpoenaing Joe and Hunter Biden and force them to testify about their scheme to sell Biden influence. Let's talk more action. Yesterday, the Biden Oversight Committee, released a bombshell report showing how the Biden family received at least $2 million from foreign countries, including Russia. This is always going to end with the Bidens coming in front of the committee. We're going to subpoena the family. We're going to put the case together to win in court. We've shown the bank records. If I had subpoenaed Joe and Biden the first day I became chairman of the committee, it would have been tied up in court and judge would have eventually thrown it out because at the time the narrative was they never took any money while he was vice president. All right, and then here's, I think, the interview. It's short. It's 2 minutes.
Always going to end with the Bidens coming in front of the committee. We are going to subpoena the family. I mean, we're putting the case together to win in court. Obviously, with all the opposition and obstruction we're getting from the Biden attorneys now, we know that this is going to end up in court when we subpoena the Biden. So we're putting together a case. And I think we've done that very well. We've shown the bank records. If I had subpoenaed Joe and Hunter Biden the first day I became chairman of the committee, it would have been tied up in court and the judge would have eventually thrown it out because at that time the narrative was, well, they never took any money while he was vice president. He never had any communication with his business associates. And, the money never came from China. We've had to go every step of the way and prove the media narrative was wrong and the vice president and the current president lied. We have caught Joe Biden in so many lies, I can't even count the number of lies now. So we have put together a case that I think would stand up in any court of law in America, and we hope to hear from the Biden soon. But I wish the media would ask the president, what exactly did your family do to receive this $21 million that the House Oversight Committee has proven? He just continues to say, well, that's a lie. That's not true. We have their bank records, Maria.
Right.
Bank records don't lie.
Congressman, when are you expecting to subpoena Joe and Hunter Biden?
Well, we want to talk to about 3 or 4 more associates first. We've been communicating with a couple of them. We're trying to bring them in just like we did Devin Archer for a transcribed interview. If they don't come in voluntarily, then they'll be subpoenaed. So this is taking a lot longer. But if you look at how the special counsel, Durham or other special counsels conducted investigations, I think our committee is going a whole lot faster than any other congressional committee in history and any other special counsel.
Yeah.
This is a complicated case, and we're being obstructed every step of the way by the Department of Justice, by the FBI, by the Secret Service, by the IRS, and by the Biden family attorneys.
Wow.
But that's not stopping us. We continue to produce evidence about every 2 weeks.
Well, we would not.
All right. Well, there we are. So, I mean, this guy, I think this is, it's Comer. He believes that he has the goods. We'll see. We will see. I mean, I'm skeptical as always. Not that it seems like I've been proved wrong every time I was skeptical about something. Sorry, I'm looking at something completely different per usual. I'm always skeptical, but it seems like I've been proved wrong. Seems like they're actually really going after this. So we'll see. We will see. Let's see what goes on with this. I'm just skeptical because I don't trust politicians at all. Every time there's an actual, every time there's something to get done, they always just fumble it. Well, yeah, I don't trust Republicans, I guess. When it comes to this stuff, they always seem to fumble it at the last minute. But we'll see. We'll see. Looks like they got something, brewing, and they're really going at it, which is good. It should be. All right. Be very funny to see Biden get impeached and actually impeached. Be pretty funny to see. And then Trump's been indicted 4 times and doesn't go anywhere. That'd be honestly that'd be really funny to me. All right. So let's go here. There we go. All right. DeSantis suspends Orlando area state attorney in second sacking of a democratically elected prosecutor. I'm guessing this is the lady. All right. So let's see why and what's going on. Florida, and this is from CNN, so you know this is going to be highly, highly biased. Governor Ron DeSantis on Wednesday announces the suspension of Orlando area state attorney, the second time he has removed a democratically elected prosecutor whose politics did not align with his conservative views. DeSantis said he was removing Monica Worrell of Florida's 9th Judiciary Circuit for neglect of duty and incompetence, accusing her of pursuing lenient sentences and declined to prosecute certain charges. Prosecutors have a duty to faithfully enforce the law. One's political agenda cannot trump this solemn duty. Refusing to faithfully enforce the laws of Florida puts our CUNYs in danger and victimizes innocent Floridians. The criticisms echoes one raised last year when DeSantis continuously removed another Democratic contentuously. I don't fucking know how to say that word. Another Democratic state attorney, Democratic elected prosecutor Andrew Warren. Democrats accused DeSantis at the time of abusing his power for political gain. A federal judge reviewed Warren's suspension, raised questions about the political motivation behind the maneuver, noting DeSantis' office had calculated the dollar amount of free media generated by his actions. But the move earned DeSantis glowing coverage from conservative outlets. The episode became a staple of the governor's political speeches in the lead up to launch of a White House bid. Okay. Now with his president's campaign struggling to gain traction, DeSantis once again used his vast executive authority in a way that has already brought the national spotlight on him. By the time DeSantis stepped up to the lecture in Tallahassee's Capitol Hill to deliver the news, Fox News had published a story on his latest maneuver. DeSantis was joined at the news conference by 2 local sheriffs, neither of which serves a county that overlaps with Worrell's jurisdictions. They used their time at the microphone to heap praise on the governor as a law and order leader. This governor always puts the victims, always puts the law-abiding citizen ahead of the criminals, and always. And that's exactly what he's done here, Polk County Sheriff Grady Jude said. Worrell, who said she was informed of her suspension Wednesday morning by phone, vowed to fight back against her removal, calling it a political hit job orchestrating to benefit the Republicans' presidential campaign. I am a duly elected state attorney of the 9th Judiciary Circuit, Worrell said at the news conference outside the Orange County Courthouse in Orlando, and nothing done by a weak dictator can change that. Okay. Worrell says she is considering legal action, but also acknowledges the law odds. The Florida Constitution allows a governor to remove an elected official for malfeasance, misfeasance, neglect of duty, habitual drunkenness, incompetence, and permanent inability to perform official duties. No previous Florida executive has interpreted that power as broadly as DeSantis. The state Senate can reinstate Worrell, but the chamber is controlled by Republicans closely aligned with DeSantis and have rarely stood in his way. Warren's attempt at reinstatement have failed. A federal judge ruled DeSantis had acted unconstitutionally in suspending Warren, written that there was not a hint of misconduct by Warren in the trial record, but he ultimately dismissed the case, saying he did not have the power to intervene on a state matter. The state Supreme Court tossed Warren's lawsuit in state court this summer. As a candidate, DeSantis has made rein in government overreach a top priority, a promise that his critics says is in conflict with how he is led during episodes such as Wednesday. DeSantis has repeatedly blasted President Joe Biden for what he says is weaponization of the U.S. Department of Justice and accused state and federal prosecutors of pushing a political agenda and targeting former President Trump. According to her biography, which as of Wednesday morning was still posted on her office website, Worrell worked as a public defender in the Orlando area, later as a clinical law professor in the University of Florida College of Law. In 2020, Warren won a contested Democratic primary to become the party's nominee for state attorney, serving Orange and Alaska County. She was elected that fall with 66% of the votes in a deeply blue part of the state. Monica was elected to bring reform to the legal system that is fundamentally flawed in order to achieve equity and move out of our system towards justice. CNN reached out to Worrell for comment. Worrell replaced Amaris Ayala, another reformed prosecutor whose approach conflicted with the state Republican leadership. When Ayala announced she would not pursue capital punishments in any case, then government Rick Stock moved death penalty cases to another state attorney, though he did not suspend her. DeSantis began to publicly lay the groundwork for Worrell's ouster in February when a teenage gunman in Orlando was accused of shooting and killing a 9-year-old girl, a journalist, and a 38-year-old woman. DeSantis accused Worrell of failing to keep the gunman behind bars for a previous charge. I know the state attorney in Orlando thinks you don't prosecute people, and that's the way that somehow you have better communities. That doesn't work, DeSantis said at the time. At Wednesday news conference, DeSantis and others pointed to heinous crimes from the previous year, allegedly committed by people with previous charges. In suspending Worrell, DeSantis cited a pattern or practice to avoid mandatory sentences for gun crimes and minimum mandatory sentence for drug trafficking offenses. DeSantis also said Worrell had allowed juveniles to avoid serious charging or incarceration and avoided valid and applicable sentencing, enhancing or limiting charges for child pornography. Worrell disputed characteristics made by the Florida governor, that her office was too lenient on crimes, insisting crime is down under her watch. DeSantis never reached out to express concerns with her operation, she said. Worrell said she intends to run for office again in 2024. If you know nothing about me, you know I'm a fighter, and I intend to fight, and I will not be quiet. I will not sit down. Florida Democratic Party Chairwoman Nikki Fried called Worrell's ouster a political hit job that threatens democracy and demands her immediate reinstatement. Ron's presidential campaign has been a disaster of epic proportions, but attacking law and order in service of his culture wars isn't the solution to his problems. DeSantis replaced Worrell with Andrew Bain, who has suffered who served as a judge in the Ninth Judiciary Circuit. DeSantis left the news conference without taking questions. All right. So it looks like when he did this last year, the judge said that it wasn't constitutional, but he had no power. A federal judge said this, but he had no power to do anything about it, basically, which, it's a federal judge and this is a state case. So that very well may be true. Hold on. And then, but it looks like the state Supreme Court did not agree with Warren's lawsuit and tossed it in state court. So, I mean, maybe they disagree with you, Mike. Let's see. And again, this is CNN. It's obviously going to be a very biased news story. Let's see. I'm just looking through, seeing if I can see, anything else on this. I'm just looking through this from AP News. I don't know whether they're biased this league because everything, but it looks like DeSantis had started investigating Worrell after 19-year-old Kevin Moss was charged with first-degree murder in the death of Spectre News 13 reporter Dylan Lyons, Natcha Augustin, and 9-year-old Tanoy Major. And then the 9-year-old's mother and Spectre News 13 photographer Jesse Walden were also shot. So they started investigating after that. And then after the shooting, DeSantis' general counsel said in a letter to Worrell that she failed to hold Moss accountable despite his criminal record and gang affiliations. And then the governor's office sought Moses's juvenile record, which are usually protected. But then over here, let's see. She says, hold on. Okay. And now what she says is DeSantis never reached out to express concerns with her operations, but his office did. Just because the man himself didn't go in doesn't mean he didn't express concerns with you. And then looks like he like during his announcement on Wednesday, he cited other cases and said Warrell avoided that whole mandatory sentences on charges that include gun crimes, drug trafficking, child porn. Had a pattern of letting juveniles avoid serious charges or incarcerations. And then I guess there's 2 shootings of police officers. I'm gonna say there was a shooting of two Orlando police officers by a 20-year-old man with a long criminal history. And of course, Democrats are going with the whole racist narrative. They're saying that, I mean, obviously this is obviously politically motivated. Let's not get twisted. He's definitely trying to do this because he saw a bump in his polls. No problem there. I mean, you do what you do as long as it's if you do it for political reasons, but you're also correct. There's really nothing wrong with it. But I guess I would have you'd have to look at how Orlando is doing. Anyways, that's all. Oh, interesting. We'll see. We'll see. Well, yeah. I don't know. There's not much really to say. It's kind of more of a he said, she said, without delving into too much detail. It's just interesting to see that a federal judge, like before with the whole Warren one, a federal judge was like, "Hey, this is unconstitutional," and then the state Supreme Court threw out the lawsuit. It's interesting. I guess it just depends on what the lawsuit was. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, I could care less, honestly. It does seem DeSantis is really struggling. Maybe he's not used to campaigning on a wide screen. It is what it is. Trump seems to be really doing well in the polls. Again, I haven't seen anything troubling about DeSantis. I like both DeSantis and Trump. Whoever wins the nomination is who I vote for. That's what I've decided. All right. Well, it is about halfway with my show, so I gotta talk about something important. What I gotta talk about is coffee brand coffee. Coffee brand coffee is what you've been seeing me drink. It is extremely delicious. It has a variety of blends. It has it has the classics, dark, light, medium roast, but it's also got French toast roast, which is what I am currently drinking. So delicious. It's got various flavors, including s'mores, bourbon, etc., etc., etc. So many flavors. And I like both the dark roast and the French toast blend. My brother liked the dark roast as well. So we got 2 people here who enjoy coffee brand coffee. It's also got how many people? It's got 4,000 verified customer reviews, and most of them 5 out of 5. So if you don't believe me, at least go and check out that. It's got 12 brand new organic loose leaf teas, various teas, chamomile. What other teas are there? There's like chamomile. There's another name. I don't drink tea, not a tea drinker, but there are plenty of teas. There's gunpowder green tea, oolong organic, raspberry, apple pie, variety of teas. It's got 12 different coffees. Like I said, there's French toast, the classics. There's bourbon, there's s'mores, all that stuff. There's 3 delicious hot cocos. I've yet to try them, so I don't really know if they're delicious, but it's hot cocoa. How can you fuck it up? If you can do coffee, how can you fuck up hot cocoa? Am I right? But they got velvet chocolate, marshmallow, and another one. What is the other one? Cocoa. And then rich caramel, of course. And they got cold brew stuff. So, if you like cold brew, definitely try it. The unique thing about, well, maybe it's not unique, but, one of the important things is each coffee is brewed to order, hand roasted to order, meaning they don't roast the damn beans until you order it. So you get the freshest of fresh. Sorry, need a drink. But yeah, you get the freshest of fresh coffee. So if you're interested in some pretty damn good coffee, then of course you should check out Coffee Brand Coffee. And if you decide to check out Coffee Brand Coffee, make sure you use my referred link right here. It's coffeebrandcoffee.com/? REF equals with ghost. And then there's that HTTPS colon / stuff. There's that too. Not that important. But yeah, make sure you use that refer link. That'll help you get a 5% off on your preferred coffee. Oh, sorry. But yes, try out Coffee Brand Coffee. I have had it for for a while now, and I have yet to regret it. It's quite delicious. Eventually, I plan to get a grinder and getting some fresh beans. So, but you will not be disappointed. This is a very good coffee brand. All right, back to my regularly scheduled broadcast. Now that you've heard me shill and grift, please give me money. Oh man! All right, so Fauci is referred to the Justice Department for criminal investigation for allegedly lying under oath. I know, we're so shocked. To Congress, of course. Senator Rand Paul sent criminal referral letter to DCUS Attorney Matthew Graves. Senator Rand Paul, Republican of Kentucky, has referred Dr. Anthony Fauci to the Justice Department for investigating into possible criminal prosecution for allegedly lying under oath to Congress about his knowledge of gain-of-function research conducted at China Wuhan virus lab. In a letter to District of Columbia U.S. U.S. Attorney Matthew Graves, the Kentucky Republican requested the DOJ investigate whether the former director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease, which is part of the National Institute of Health, so that's NIAID and NIH, that broke the law with false statements made in congressional testimony under a statute punishable by federal prison. Before Congress, Dr. Fauci denied gain-of-function research to the press. He claims to have dispassionate view on the lab leak hypothesis, and in private, he acknowledged gain-of-function research in the WIV, Wuhan Institute of Virology, to his colleagues, Paul wrote. A congressional hearing, however, is not the place for a public servant to play political games, especially when the health and well-being of American citizens is on the line. For this reason, I request you investigate whether Dr. Fauci's statements to Congress on May 11, 2021 violates U18 U.S.C, whatever that fucking symbol is, 1001, or any other statutes, Paul added. Fauci testified before the Senate Committee on Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions on May 11, 2021, saying that NIH has not ever and does not now fund gain-of-function research in Wuhan Institute of Virology. In a subsequent hearing, Paul warned Dr. Fauci of criminal implications of lying to Congress, offering him an opportunity to recant his previous statements, the senator noted in the letter. In response, Fauci stated that he never lied to Congress and did not retract that statement, Paul wrote. The Kentucky senator said Fauci's testimony is inconsistent with the emails that have since come to light that shows Fauci knew of gain-of-function research in sorry. Do something real quick. There you go. Get a little there. It's inconsistent with emails that have since been come to light showing on February 1st, 2020, Fauci sent an email which the House Select Subcommittee on the coronavirus pandemic recently released acknowledged concerns that COVID-19 may have been genetically engineered because of gain-of-function research taking place in Wuhan before the pandemic. Fuck. I'm not reading this long-ass thing. Fuck that shit. In the email, written weeks before a federal COVID emergency was first declared, Fauci wrote that the scientists in Wuhan have known to have been working on gain-of-function experiments to determine the molecular mechanism associated with bat virus adapting to human infection. Outbreak originated in Wuhan. Further gain-of-function research in Wuhan was funded by the agency that Fauci led, Paul noted. Paul's letter highlighted a paper titled Discovery of Rich Genetic Pool of Bat SARS-Related Coronavirus provides an insight on the origin of SARS coronavirus, which describes an in-depth research carried out by the WIV, funded in part through NIAID. The paper's author, Dr. Shi Zhengli, detailed the research in which the spikes genes with two uncharacteristic SARS-related coronavirus strains were combined with the genomic backbone of another SARS-related coronavirus to create novel chimeric SARS-related viruses that show the fuck. That showed cytopathic effects in primate epithelial cells and replications in human epithelial cells, according to Paul. These experiments, combined with genetic information from different SARS-related coronavirus, combine them to create novel artificial viruses able to infect human cells, Paul wrote. The experiment, funded by NIH, meets the definition of gain-of-function research, the center concluded. In his letter, Paul also referenced a report published on June 14, 2023, that the Government Accountability Office, GAO, concluded that WIV and Wuhan University received NIH funding. The report noted that the NIH-funded WIV project titled Understanding the Risk of Bat Coronavirus Emergence, which included genetic experiments to combine naturally occurring bat coronaviruses with SARS and MERS viruses, and resulting in hybridized coronavirus strains. Additionally, the GAO determined that the NIH-funded Wuhan University collaboration with the WIV viral detection in the Wuhan province. Paul states that that Fauci's omissions could fall under a criminal statute that says whoever makes any materials, false, fictitious, or fraudulent statements or representations as part of any investigation or review conducted pursuant to authorities of any committee, subcommittee, commissions, or office of Congress, it constitutes with the applicable rules of the House and Senate is subject to criminal fines, imprisonment of up to 5 years. Whew, God damn. Neither the NIH nor Fauci respond to a request for comment from Fox News Digital by time of publication. All right, there we go. So interesting. Now, is Fauci gonna get his? Probably not. Probably not. These fuckers are never held accountable, so I would be surprised. But hey, it looks like Rand Paul's trying. Whether anything's going to happen is a completely different story. So I guess we will see if that's going to be the case. He absolutely did lie too. It was kind of shown when he testified he was lying out of his ass, which it's kind of expected from someone who fucked up and made a mistake and is trying to cover up the fact that he knew about the stuff and that and all that. So, but we'll see if he actually is held accountable. I'm guessing not. I'm willing to bet that the District of Columbia attorney is going to be like, nah, I'm good. I could be wrong, but I'd be willing to bet the farm. All right. So next, Massachusetts is asking residents to house unvetted illegal immigrants. First, everyone who voted. Oh, sorry. This isn't actually a news thing here. This is just some guy who's on tweet. But he says, first, everyone who voted for Biden should be required to. Second, I wonder how that will play out. Third, Obama has big enough places to house 100 plus, so I'm sure he'll sign up to. That's true. But then when they bust a bunch of illegal immigrants, he send them right the fuck back. All right, let's see what this lady says.
Most importantly, if you have an extra room or suite in your home, please consider hosting a family. Safe housing and shelter is our most pressing need. Become a sponsor family. You can contact the Brazilian Worker Center for more information on how you can step up if you're willing to have an additional family be part of your family. If you're a local official, a college president, a business owner, or a faith leader with an available building or space in your community, please work with us to offer it as a shelter site. If you're a social service provider, please consider becoming an emergency assistance homeless shelter provider. Our resources are stretched thin there as well. And if you're a hotel or a motel owner, consider opening it up for emergency assistance. If you're a landlord or a property owner, we can use you to and connect you with service providers to help transition families into permanent housing. Everyone has something they can offer.
Okay, so yeah, I mean they're asking. Oh, it's kind of funny. I think Massachusetts is a sanctuary state. Okay. Yeah, so that's kind of funny, honestly. They're like, hey, will you? And they're asking business owners, hotel managers to put up these people too. Sorry. Looking at something I'm going to talk about probably Monday. There we go. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny, honestly. Asking business owners, hey, you got some spaces, we're not, odds are they're not going to pay them. So will you let these people live here? No. How about you send them the fuck back and be done with it? Like, what the fuck? This is ridiculous. We're allowing illegal immigrants to come into our country. We cross the border illegally. Get the fuck out. That's just me. That's just funny that they're asking, hey, will you please do this? Will you please? Say fuck you. All right. So this was a short from Fresh and Fit. Modern feminist thinks men care about her money.
Do you think by making more money, it's going to hurt your chance of finding a man or help your chance of finding a man? That's my question.
think it's going to help my chances.
Really?
Yeah, even though that's not my focus. I think making money, because then I don't know.
Let's use a little bit of logic here. What percentage of men do you think make $100,000 a year in the United States?
30?
30%?
Yeah.
Between 10 to 15% of all Americans make $100,000 a year. That's men, women, everything included. So think about this. You're going to be 30 years old, right? So you're not going to be as hot as you are now. You're going to make more money, which means you have a higher taste in man, but you might not necessarily be as attractive enough to get that guy. And you're going to have certain experiences and certain expectations because you've lived a certain type of life. Do you really think it's going to be easier for you to find a man at 30 years old when you make more money and you're kind of stuck in your ways than now? Do you think by making more money?
All right. So there we go. Yeah. Look, ladies. If I have any ladies watching my show at some point ever, yeah, guys don't care about your fucking money. We really do not give a shit about your money. And any guy who does care about like how much money you make, is probably broke and needs you to make more money than him so he can live a good life. Yeah. So, I mean, guys don't really care about their money. And it's 100% true what he's saying there is the more money a woman makes, the more expectations she has of guys to make that same amount. Yeah, it's absolutely true. Like, I mean, first off, it's intelligent. Like, why the fuck would you date a guy who generally is seen as the protector and the provider and all that stuff? Why would you date a guy who makes less money than you? It makes no logical sense to me whatsoever. It just never makes any sense to me why these feminists, she didn't really do it. I watched that show and she was, arguing in stupidity. But like, I don't remember her having any rebut against that. I'm trying to think. Anyways, but yeah, I mean, she's gonna get older, make more money. Guys that are like, make 100K plus. I mean, fewer and fewer of them are gonna find her attractive. They're gonna want someone who's, younger and moldable, teachable, coachable, and everything like that. So unless she gets with someone now, and then 30 years later, boom, ends up marrying them, whatever, then she's built some credibility. But if she tries to find someone out of the gate, and look, I don't think women should be I don't think they should spend their entire life trying to find a guy to take care of them and everything like that. Go ahead, get a job and all that stuff, but you should be ensuring that the qualities you exude will help you find a good man when you're ready. And just being feminine, fit, friendly, and all that stuff. And if you want to make money, go ahead, make money. But these women need to understand that men don't give two shits about your money. And why don't we? Well, there's a famous saying: her money's her money, your money is her money as well. Like it's very simple. Her money's her money, your money is our money. So that's why guys don't give a fuck about your fucking money. Like with my wife, I don't give a shit how much she makes. She's always made less than me, which is fine. It's not a big deal. Like when we were struggling and I wasn't making as much, it was a bit of a pain. It was more important, but I still made vastly more than her. I wouldn't say vastly, but I still made more than her. But we didn't. But but how much she made, that was when it kind of mattered how much she made, because it helped. I still paid the significant amount of the bills. Don't get me wrong, But she covered mostly her bills, and that's about it. But I covered all the other bills. And then the more money I made, the less important her money mattered. So, I make I'm probably in that 10-15% of people who earned 100K. Well, I know I am. So I make 100K at my job, and I'm hoping that pretty here soon I'll hold on. I'll be right back. Hold on. Sorry. There we go. Sorry about that. Heard my wife yelling at my daughter. Was wondering why. Valid as usual. What was I saying? But yeah, I'm making close to 120 currently, I think, and then I'm hoping here pretty soon I'll be bumping up to like 200. So yeah, the more money I start making, less I give a shit about my wife's income. I gave so little shit that she now is a stay-at-home mom and doesn't work, and that is my goal all along, is to make it so my wife, can work electively if she wants after the kids are taken care of. But yeah, ladies, men don't give a fuck about your income, and we shouldn't give a fuck about your income because we're supposed to be the providers. We're meant to be the ones that are take care of you, and you take care of the household, and you take care of us. That's how it works. That's how it's supposed to work. Now, there's a lot of wimpy men that don't try hard enough to earn a good wage or anything like that, so you're kind of forced to make money and everything like that. But don't date those guys. Don't date bums. Men, get your money up. Learn to provide and lead for a woman. And that's, then she'll be the happiest. And it won't always work out, but that's what you should be doing. You should be trying to provide, and for a woman, you should be providing, you should be trying to protect, etc., and all that good stuff. All right. Now let's watch this last video.
What do you bring to the table?
I'm not going to answer this question. This is just something that I wouldn't answer in a date. I'm not going to answer here.
Fine.
I'm not going to answer how many books I've read.
Okay.
It's that power dynamic.
What do you expect men to bring to the table?
Integrity, clarity, consistency, strong connection to divinity, not necessarily religion, but some kind of purpose-based.
None of these chicks believe anything she's saying. Look at their face. They don't believe a word this bitch is saying.
Lifestyle.
So what is the female equivalent of that?
The same.
Then why wouldn't you just say that at the table when he asks you?
What do you?
That lady, that chick just owned her. That was funny. Then why wouldn't you just say that? Look, this is all bullshit what she's saying. None of that really matters unless you reach a certain point. Like, you gotta reach other prerequisites. Finances, height, protect, security, all that stuff. So none of all that shit she says, yeah, that comes after the initial interaction. But you got to show that you have the finances for her. You got to show that you have, the security, the safety that you provide her, and all that stuff. So all she said was complete and utter bullshit. Let's be honest. And this whole here's my problem with the whatever podcast. He seems to be getting a lot better at this, of course. But I saw a couple. I didn't watch again. I don't watch the full videos of the whatever podcast, so I don't know. But he seems to let like with this chick especially, she's like refused to answer several questions. And if you're gonna come on a podcast, and that's basically female and male dynamics, and you should understand that you're going to be at, like, if it's an extremely personal question, obviously you wouldn't have to answer that. But if it's a general question, then it's something that you should answer. Like this whole what do you bring to the table is not a personal question. It's a very reasonable question to ask, because let's be honest, she probably has very high expectations of men. So it's only fair to ask what she brings to the table to qualify for that man. It's a very common question you see on these podcasts. Anyways, back to what I was saying. What I have a problem with the whatever podcast is he seems to tolerate a lot of the female fuckery. He's gotten better on it for sure. He's definitely gotten better on it. He's kicked out a few girls, which is great. But this kind of fuckery, if she went on Fresh and Fit, she know what was up, and Myron be like, all right, look, if you're not going to answer questions, you need to get the fuck off. I don't really need you. So that's my problem with the whatever podcast. He kind of lets female fuckery slide far more often. And these ladies get away with all this shit all the time. They don't need to come on your show and do the same thing. It's really funny. I see her. She has like a chest tattoo that goes all the way up to her neck. It's so fucking ho. Apparently, she's also a single mom. So, yeah, dude, guys, don't date single mothers. That's just a bad bet for you. All right, everyone. So that's all I got for today. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I sure as hell did, because I enjoy every video I do because I'm a narcissist. Anyways, I hope y'all all enjoyed the video. Like I said, make sure you follow me on X at officialwghost. Make sure if you go to Coffee Brand Coffee and or you already order from Coffee Brand Coffee, use that coupon code GHOST, all capitalized. And then here's that referral link again, right there. If you want some delicious coffee and get 5% off, use this referral link. Make sure you follow me here on Rumble with Ghost, as well as on YouTube, and then my gaming channel, Gaming with Ghost, and on Kick as well. I hope you all have a good day, and peace out.